Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the National News Broadcast. We are coming to you live from Rupavahini News Studios. I'm Delanjali Anna.
I'm Movin Hettiarachi and today is the 13th of August and here are today's headlines.
IMF praises Sri Lanka once again. Cabinet approval to increase the public sector salaries by a minimum of 24%. Cost of living allowance to be increased up to 25,000 rupees. Water tariffs reduce. Starlink to be launched in Sri Lanka. An extensive alliance to be formed for President Ranil Wickremesinghe on the 16th. SJB parliamentarian Rajitha Senaratne extends support to the President. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that he will commit completely to serve the nation. National People's Power leader Andra Kumara Dissanayake says the national harmony can be built by forming a government with the support of all social segments. New Bangladesh leader pledges to realize the dreams of the students of the country.
Now, under those and more stories in detail on today's top story, the exchange rate arrangement in Sri Lanka has been classified as other managed by the International Monetary Fund.
Accordingly, the IMF has pointed out that this methodology has enabled the exchange rate to remain stable so far and has provided a strong foundation for economic activities to resume. The International Monetary Fund has indicated that the recent reforms introduced to the economy by Sri Lanka are gradually easing the challenges faced through the economic crisis. The IMF, in its last economic report, has classified the de jure exchange rate arrangements as free-floating, while the de facto exchange rate arrangements is classified as other managed. The IMF has further indicated that the foreign reserves in the country have gained considerably during the recent period. The IMF has pointed out the need to maintain and continue the economic reforms program adhered by the government with the purpose of achieving future positive conditions.
The Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to the proposals tabled by the salary revisions for the public sector, including 25,000 rupee cost of living allowance and a minimum of 24% salary increments in the public sector. These proposals are expected to be introduced in the Budget 2025 for implementation. Approval of the Cabinet of Ministers has been granted at their previous meeting to appoint a specialist committee to submit a report comprised of recommendations. Accordingly, the specialist committee to the President, Udaya Senaratne, has held discussions with the public officers and major trade unions in the public sector and has submitted an interim report subsequent to analysing the relevant information. The Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to the proposal furnished by the President to grant policy approval for the following proposals recommended in the report and implement the relevant proposals by including them in the Budget 2025. Accordingly, all designations in the entire public service will be categorized into 4 levels and grouped into subcategories for recruitment. Also, a monthly cost of living allowance of 25,000 rupees will be paid to all government employees considering the year 2025 as a base year, consolidating various adjustments and allowances already added. The minimum initial monthly salary of the government services will be escalated from a minimum percentage of 24 while taking gross salary as 55,000 rupees with cost of living allowances. This new salary allowance methodology will be implemented for all government institutions excluding trade state companies and banks. Measures will further be taken to limit the total staff of the public sector by 2030 for 1 million or lesser. E-governance from the electronic systems will be introduced in every sector from the entire public service within 3 years through digitalization and automation and pioneering public investment. A medical insurance scheme will be implemented to award more than attractive benefits with monthly minimum contribution of 1,000 rupees, including all employees and pensioners of the government sector with effect from January 2025. The claimed salary increments of the government officers retired prior to the year 2020 will be awarded while clearing their relevant salary anomalies by revising their pensions. From January 2025, pensioners will be given a 50% of the cost of living allowance given to the public employees engaged in active service. Cabinet spokesman Minister Bandula Gunawadana said that it has been recommended that all public sector recruitment should be carried out through a competitive examination and interview process. He also said that public sector employees will receive a 25,000 rupee cost of living allowance from next budget, which will be revised every 3 years. He also said that 25% of the basic salary will be increased with a gross salary of 55,000 rupees per month. Responding to a query raised by the IMF implications in pertaining to the proposed salary increments, the minister said the IMF regulations have been passed in the parliament as law. He said that inflation was a result of money printing during the previous government. He said that the money printing through the central bank has been banned from the Central Bank Act. He said the government will not be able to reach a monetary markets as they wish. He said that until 2027, no development bond can be issued to the world market. He also said that the new act has been passed in Parliament on how to obtain future loans in the country. He said that the gross monetary requirements should not exceed 13% of the gross domestic product while preparing the budget. He also said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe is contesting the election with a proper national policy and efficiently preparing the future objectives of the country within the legal framework. The Cabinet of Ministers granted approval for the resolution furnished by Minister Jeevan Thondaman to revise the water charges. Since Ceylon Electricity Board has deducted their electricity charges since July 16th, and considering the cost of fuel, chemicals and internet interest costs have declined, the water charges can be deducted by some percentage. The approval of Cabinet of Ministers was granted on July 15th to implement the charges policy and the metrics to review those charges. Accordingly, residential category, excluding summer holders and urban estate colonies, the proposed deduction average is 7%. The proposed deduction average for the government hospital is 4.5% and for schools and religious institutions it is 6.3%.
The world's richest businessman Elon Musk's Starlink network will be available in Sri Lanka soon. This is following a recent meeting between President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Elon Musk in Indonesia. The Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka has officially issued a telecommunications service provider license to Starlink Lanka Private Limited under the Sri Lanka Telecommunications Act. During the meeting between President Ranil Wickremesinghe and world-renowned businessman Elon Musk in Indonesia, they discussed expediting the application process to connect Sri Lanka to the Starlink network, aiming to enhance the nation's access to high-speed internet via advanced satellite technology. As a result, Starlink has been approved to provide internet facility services in Sri Lanka through satellite technology. This license enables Starlink Lanka to offer satellite broadband services across the country. The license will come into effect on August 12th, marking a significant step forward in expanding Sri Lanka's access to high-speed internet through advanced satellite technology.
My idea is we must have the latest technology, and certainly Starlink will help us. I had a long discussion with Elon Musk on it and how it could help in the rural areas, and I said, come help us. We want to get this coverage out into the rural areas, and let's have a try.
Okay.
Huh? Better to have him than not to have him.
Of course.
We had a long discussion on what he's going to do and all. It's interesting. And the country, he asked me in May, and in July everything is ready.
And so, as Sri Lankan youth, we can expect Starlink internet connectivity very soon. Is that your message,
yes.
Mr. President?
We have already okayed the license. It just has to be handed over to the
Parliamentarian Rajat Senaratne has decided to extend his support to President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the presidential election. The signing of the agreement in this regard was held this evening at the Gangaramaya Seema Mala Akame. Parliamentarian Rajat Senaratne and President Ranil Wickremesinghe signed the MOU following rigorous observances. The President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that advancing the country requires not only economic system but a new political framework to meet the people's expectations. Therefore, the President Ranil Wickremesinghe announced that he will stand as an independent candidate in the upcoming presidential election. The President also mentioned that Mr. Rajit Senaratne, who is known for his radical ideas on social change, is a valuable supporter. He expressed his satisfaction on joining forces with him. Subsequently, Parliamentarian Rajit Senaratne made an open statement regarding his decision. Parliamentarian Rajit Senaratne said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe has fostered an environment where people can live happily by significantly reducing poverty in recent years, and his nation-building efforts have been received from international acclaim. He also noted that he entered politics from left-wing perspective and made important political decisions in the past. He recalled that these decisions were made with the best interests of people in mind, even though they sometimes led to conflict with the police. He stated that he will remain dedicated to creating a safe future for the next generation and fully support President Ranil Wickremesinghe to ensure his victory.
A total of 35 candidates have placed deposits to contest the presidential election thus far. The acceptance of nominations will be held on the 15th until 11 a.m. The Election Commission said that objections can be raised from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the same day. Dr. G. Veerasinghe placed deposit for presidential candidate of Sarvajana Balaya Collective, Dilit Javira, today. Parliamentarians Uday Gammanpilla, Veera Sumana Veerasinghe, Gevinda Kumaratunga and Gamini Valeboda were present at this occasion. Deposit of the presidential candidate for Jana Aragala Alliance, Nuwan Bopage, was placed by Dharmasri Lankapelli. Attorney at Law Hemantha Wickremesinghe placed deposit for the presidential candidate of the Samabima party. He said that the candidate of the party will be revealed on the 15th. Arrangements have been made to deploy more than 1,000 police officers and implement a special traffic plan for the acceptance of nominations event scheduled on the 15th. Acting police media spokesman DIG Ruan Gunasekara said that the special traffic plan will remain effective from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. He said that the vehicular movement from Ayurveda Junction to Rajgiri Junction and the Sri Jayawardhanapura Road will be completely limited. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Disaster Management decided today to establish a special disaster management unit to provide relief for public in case of an emergency during the election period.
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa says that each and every drop of his blood will be serving the nation. He made these remarks while addressing a public rally organized in Mahyanganaya. The Samak Jana Balavegia organized a Jana Power public rally organized with the participation of the opposition leader. Party leader Sajid Premadasa said that he expects to become the leader of the country with the majority mandate of the public. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that it is his ambition to become the leader of the people through an immense commitment without taking any privileges. He said that the group is most talented and skillful among the team contesting at the present. He said that he will take the responsibility of the present generation as well as future generations. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that him and his team will dedicate every drop of their blood to serve the nation. He said that he will transform all state enterprises as profitable entities with the support of private sector and local and foreign investors.
Now, United Leftist Front will extend their support to presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa. Speaking at a media briefing today, its Politburo member Jayampati Wickremaratne said that the opposition leader Sajid Premadasa has agreed to abolish the executive presidency. Politburo member of the United Leftist Front, Jayampati Wickremaratne, said that they have always emphasized the need to completely abolish the executive presidency. He said that the opposition leader guaranteed that he will be committed in this regard.
Leader of the National People's Power, Anrukumara Dissanayake, says that national harmony can be built by forming a government with the support of all social segments. He made these remarks while addressing a public rally held in Tiharia area. The public rally organized by the National People's Power was named Tiharia Muslim Brotherhood Rally. The parliamentarian Anukumara Dissanayake said that national harmony in the country has faced a crisis due to the politicization of the classes, ethnicities and religions. Leader of the National People's Power, Anukumara Dissanayake, says the cost of a plaque while building a village is 250,000 rupees. He said the opposition leader has claimed 2 houses can be built with the cost to build 2 plaques. He also said that the paper advertisements in the 12 newspapers cost 3 million rupees, which can build 6 houses. However, he said that these were said in 2019. He also said that the claims that a fraud has occurred in the Central Cultural Fund, which is similar to the Central Bank fraud and Saudi Fund, was terminated. He added that those entities now the opposition leader is the man of the presidency. He pointed out that the country requires a policy-based political culture. He said that parliamentarians are moving from one party to the other. He said that some members left the party a while back, but they will not be welcomed back to the party in the future.
Former divisional councillors of the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna was held in Tengol yesterday. The meeting was held with the participation of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. The meeting was organised to extend support for Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna presidential candidate Nama Rajapaksa. Former councillors represented Hambantota district in Pradeshia Sabha were present at this occasion. Meanwhile, the opening of the legal office of the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna was held with the participation of party founder Basil Rajapaksa. The event was held at the party headquarters. General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna Sagara Kariyavasam said that they will continue to strive forward despite those who abandoned them. He said that the party members in the grassroots level and the citizenry are with the party. He said that they will continue to engage in politics with the public and not with the top brass.
Former divisional councillors of the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna was held in Thangalda yesterday. The meeting was held with the participation of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Apologies. State Minister Premalal Jayasekara has rejoined the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna. He made these remarks expressing his decision to media at the party headquarters. State Minister Premalal Jayasekara said that he continues to remain at the same faction without taking a side. He said that he attended the SLPP meeting in Ratnapura. He said that since the party has not placed a candidate previously, the initial thought was the current president to be the candidate of the party. However, he said that the party has decided to place a separate candidate for the election. He will continue to support the party and engage in election campaign work.
Puntland District Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna parliamentarian Jagat Priyankara has decided to extend his support to President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the presidential election. He was appointed to the vacant seat of the late parliamentarian Sanath Nishantha following his demise. Calling on the president this morning, the parliamentarian said that he took this decision to further strengthen the president's effort, who will rescue the country from the crisis.
Foreign Minister Manusha Nanakara says that an extensive alliance will be formed on the 16th for the victory of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Addressing a meeting held in Kurunegala yesterday, he said that any person who has been branded a racist will not be included in the alliance. The meeting was organized by the Foreign Employment License Holders Forum. They informed Minister Manusha Nanakara that they will extend their support for the victory of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Former Minister Manusha Nanakara said that an alliance will be formed on the 16th. He said that the alliance will be free of racists. Parliamentarians, provincial councillors and local government members in Monoragal district belonging to Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna and United National Party have decided to support President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the presidential election. This was revealed at a meeting held yesterday in Monoragal with the participation of Minister Prasanna Ranthunga. 4 Sri Lankan Pudujana Peramuna parliamentarians representing Monoragal district were present at the meeting. Former Monoragal district leader of Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna, Sumedha J. Jayasena, was present at the occasion extending her support to the president. Minister Prasanna Ranthunga said that during the crisis period the country had to take loans from Bangladesh. However, he said that now the government is rebuilding the country. He said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe took numerous measures to rebuild and stabilize the country and economy. Meeting of the former Kegal District Divisional Councillors was held in Galigamua yesterday. The meeting was held jointly with the former councillors of Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana and United National Party. State Minister Taraka Balasuriya said that if parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa had known he would win the election, then he would have given the opportunity to parliamentarian Dhammika Pereira. State Minister Kanaka Herath said that only 91 parliamentarians are with the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana, out of which he said that 67 of them are supporting President Ranil Wickremesinghe. State Minister Ranjit Siyabalapati said that through winners engage in their election campaigns at the right time. He said that such campaigns would peak on September 21st. However, he said that some parties started their campaigns more than 6 months ago. Former chairpersons and councillors of Yatiyantota and Padisabha have decided to support the president.
It has been proposed to establish an organisation comprised of the majority Podujana Peramana parliamentarians related to the presidential election. This was revealed during a discussion held at the Disaster Management Centre today with the participation of State Minister Pramita Bandara Tennakoon. State Minister Pramita Bandara Tennakoon said that their purpose is to create a platform for all parties from the left to the right could join together. He said that the leader of the new alliance will be announced in the coming days. He said that Minister Dr. Ramesh Pathirana has been proposed as the secretary of the new alliance.
The Meteorology Department says that the prevailing showery conditions over the island is expected to continue further due to the low-level atmospheric disturbance in the vicinity of the country. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in western, Sabaragamuwa, central, southern and Uva provinces. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere in the country during the evening or night. Several areas in western, Sabaragamuwa, central, southern and Uva provinces will receive heavy showers above 100 millimeters. Public has been requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Meanwhile, sea areas of the coast extending from Galle to Batiklobia, Mathura, Hambantota and Pothuil might become very rough at times. The Met Department has indicated that temporary strong gusty winds and rough seas can be expected during thunder showers.
The Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, says that insurance sector, which was one of the most affected by the crisis, has bounced back within a short period. He made these remarks during an event held in Colombo today. The Central Bank Governor shared these views at the Sri Lanka International Insurance Summit 2024. The event, organized by the Insurance Association of Sri Lanka, was held under the theme Bridging Local and Global Insurance Industries. The summit will be held from August 12th to the 14th in Colombo. The three-day symposium aims to connect Sri Lanka with the global insurance industry and foster international investments.
Of our country, the low country dances of the south, enriched with graceful and excellent thought leaders from across the globe.
It in fact gives me a great pleasure to be here today at the Sri Lanka International Insurance Summit. I think I was told the first time we're going to have it. The insurance sector is one of the sectors which also affected severely during the crisis period. I can remember just 2 years ago, there was a period insurance sector was also at a huge risk for not being able to make the payments or reinsurance. Insurance sector was putting a lot of pressure, especially at the IRCSL, was basically making requests at least to allocate some of the foreign exchange, those days very scarce foreign exchange, to meet the reinsurance premiums that basically had seen some delay. And the then question challenge that time was, with the very limited available foreign exchange at that time, just 2 years ago, was it the priority for us to allocate little amount of foreign exchange to pay for reinsurance, or provide that little amount to people in the country waiting for the queues, long queues, several days? I'm glad after 2 years, the US sector, with all these challenges, now have been able to host this colorful event here, and with all foreign delegates. I think that was, I would say, not expected at that point. I think I'm glad that you all have been able to come back to this within this short period. In this interconnected world, insurance have a key role to play in ensuring stability in markets, even in individual households, businesses. Today, the opportunities that our economy presents to non-traditional industries like insurance are numerous, ranging from the opening of a multi-million industry to when someone joins our workforce, or even when a child is born, the opportunities are endless. This will provide a platform to think creatively about to the industry's way forward and to seek solutions that create victories not only for the industry but for businesses, households and the people of Sri Lanka as well as the people in the region. Through the trust that every business and household places in an insurance product that is offered by the industry should take all of a step closer to a more stable and prosperous future.
Vice Secretary of the United National Party, Akhilaviraj Karyavasam, says that the people in the country should decide to hand over the next 5 years to the current president in order to maintain nation's survival within the stable government. He made these remarks while during a media briefing held today at the party headquarters. Vice Secretary of the United National Party, Akhilaviraj Karyavasam, said that if Bangladesh had a leader like the President Ranil Wickremesinghe, then the country would not have faced a crisis at present. He said that the people in the country should decide to hand over the next 5 years to the current president in order to maintain nation's survival within a stable government. He said that he managed to fill Gaul face with green fights with supporters when he was at the General Secretary of the party.
Governor of the Eastern Province, Senthil Thondaman, says that the estate worker community extends their appreciation for President Ranil Wickremesinghe for providing 1,700 rupee daily wage. He made these remarks while speaking to media. Governor of the Eastern Province, Senthil Thondaman, extended his appreciation for President for his support. He said that as the current Labour Minister, the President has been able to gazette the 1,700 rupee wage increment for estate workers. He said that the discussions pertaining to the wage increment was conducted. He said that the next discussion with the companies regarding their ability to provide the new wage increment. He said that Ceylon Workers' Congress has always delivered their promises. That's all the news we have from home. Stay tuned for international stories coming up next.
විදුලි බිලෙන් හරි අඩක්ම වැය වන්නේ ශීතකරණයටයි. අවශ්‍ය දෑ ඉවතට ගත් සැනින් දොරවසා දමන්න. අඛණ්ඩ විදුලි සැපයුමකට සහාය වෙමු.
Mohammed Yunus stated that he is ready to work with the students and overcome the crisis Bangladesh had faced within the last few weeks.
He also said that the main goal of the interim government is to ensure human rights and freedom of speech for all citizens. Mohammed Yunus was sworn in on last Thursday after months of student-led process culminating in the fall of the government. The students has decided that what they need is for Professor Mohammed Yunus to step into power, vacuum left by the sudden resignation of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and lead the new interim government. The country's policy union has announced a strike. A traffic was being guided by students, while hundreds of police stations had been gutted by fires. The authorities assured that there was progress regarding the strike as officers returned back to their work. Now on to sports news. Two Sri Lankan athletes that took part in the 2024 Paris Olympics returned to the island this morning.
These athletes were Viren Netthasinghe and Nadisha Dilhani Lekamge. 6 athletes represented Sri Lanka at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Athletes Tharushi Kanaratne and Arna Darshana arrived in the country previously. Viren Netthasinghe and Dilhani Lekamge returned to the island this morning after taking part in the closing ceremony. They were welcomed by the officials of the Sri Lanka Badminton Association and officers of the Sri Lanka Army. And that's all the news we have for tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on Channel I. I'm Dilanjali, together with Owen, signing off. Good night.
Good night.